How to treat the one who is possessed. How to treat the jinni possession. I speak in English without an accent. There are 3 stages for the treatment. Stages. Ya ikhwa, possession, jinn possession is a disease. Three stages. Number 1, prior to the treatment. 2, during the treatment. After the treatment. طيب, prior to the treatment, if you go into the house and you find pictures hanging on the walls, what should you do? You want the angels to come in. You see, jinni, they hate angels. Now these guys got possessed to begin with because there is no angels and so you must remove any pictures hanging in the wall where you trying to treat the person. This is number 1. 2, what if this person already gone to a sorcerer or some fortune teller and he already given him what? شركيات, تميمة, amulets, call it what? التمائم أو الحجاب, or you must remove this from the person. Do you have anything shirky there? Did you do anything from sorcery? We're like, yeah, under my pillow there is something. Get it out. Get it out. Tawheed. Allah is going to cure you, not these things. هذا شرك كله. And you burn it. You get rid of it. You bury it. That's step number 2. You must make sure that the place is free from people who are sinning. You can't just somebody sitting next to you and he's smoking a cigarette next to you. You shouldn't do it. Or a woman not wearing a hijab. Make sure that the environment where you're treating the person is an environment of or a brother who's wearing gold or silk. So you must remove the environment from any mukhalafat shar'iyya, unlawful things. You should teach the sick person and the family that, listen, I don't do nothing. Allah is the one who's going to cure your son, your daughter. I'm just going to recite the Quran. Allah told us that in the Quran there is a cure. But I want you to believe that the cure is going to come from where? And the means is what? Me reciting the Quran. But don't look at me. قول الشيخ والشيخ ده هو اللي بإيده الحل والشيخ ولا هيتعالج. ولا هيتعالج. If he thinks that the sheikh is going to cure him. لا. The sheikh doesn't do anything. So you must teach the family, especially if you see that what? They are weak in what? In the area of aqidah, that they don't have this established. You also, yani you as a Muslim learned person, in order to prevent fitna from them. What if you go ahead and cure the person? And those people, they don't understand the aqidah. Sheikh, when they see, they're going to prostrate to you. Is that something that you want? Taghut you're going to become taghut. What is taghut? Someone who's an act of worship is performed in front of him and he doesn't say no to it. Explain to the family that this is the way according to the Quran and the Sunnah. Any other way is the way of the fortune tellers and so forth. Then he should identify whether that person is possessed or touched. What is his case? He asked the person more than one time regarding the symptoms. What do you see? Well, Sheikh, every night I see a nightmare. For how long? 3 months. What else? I wake up and at night I can't sleep. So if you see symptoms, 2, 3, not just 1, 2, 3 in a regular continuous basis, then you know that this person is possessed by a jinni. Sometimes you don't need to ask because he's out there sitting doing like this to you and you already, there is something wrong with the person, that he's already in that position. During that stage number 2, we're done with stage number 1. Are you guys following me or what? Stage number 2, during the treatment, you should make wudu. You're supposed to do this to your family and to yourselves. Don't go to the sheikh to do that. You should do this for your family. You do wudu. Number 1, you make wudu. 2, you make the adhkar if you forgot it. If you forgot to make adhkar al-sabah, make it up. Even so it's not morning, but make some of these adhkar before you do this. If the woman, if the sick person is a woman, be careful. Make sure that she is in position that you're not going to see her body. Make sure that you place a blanket over her, because they end up what? Moving around, and you don't want to look at her aura. Come on, Sheikh, you can do that, Mr. Sheikh. So you must what? Make sure that the woman is protected by a blanket. You shouldn't be there by yourself. Her mahram must be there with you. Her permanent mahram. Not a woman. Don't get another woman there and say, I'm sitting with the women. لا ما ينفع يا سيدنا الشيخ. ما ينفع يا شيخ. Her father, her husband, her son who is old enough. So you must have a mahram there. Then you ask Allah, you make dua, Allahumma inni ala hada al-jinni. Oh Allah, help me against that jinni. Now the third stage is the stage of we're not done yet. Then here is how the treatment. You place your hand, after you've done all these, we're still at stage number 2. You place your hand in the head of the person and you start reciting al-ruqya. Hadith al-ruqya ضعيف. Hadith al-ruqya, certain في Sunan Ibn Majah, that you say certain things, the hadith is ضعفul, Sheikh al-Albani. But here is what the scholars agreed upon. Listen, like I mentioned a minute ago, any Quran that you recite will do the job. Any Quran that you recite will do the job. But here is the most common known things. Number 1, Al-Fatiha. Let's start with the Quran. Al-Fatiha. The first 4 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah. أولئك على هدى من رب ألف لام ميم until what? أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون. آية السحر واتبعوا ما تتلو الشياطين على ملك سليمان وما كفر سليمان ولكن الشياطين كفروا يعلمون الناس السحر وما أنزل على الملكين ببابل هاروت وماروت. This آية السحر is called verse of the sihr about Sayyidina Sulaiman. The Jews accusing Sayyidina Sulaiman of sorcery. It's half a page in Surah Al-Baqarah. Ayatul Kursi. The last 3 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah. لله ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وإن تبدوا ما في أنفسكم أو تخفوه until the end of the surah. So those are already Those are already what? 5. طيب. سورة المؤمنون. أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون. Abdullah ibn Mas'ud got a jinni out of a body of a sick with using that. اللي هي ايه؟ The last 3 verses I believe from سورة المؤمنون. أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون فتعالى الله الملك الحق ومن يدعو مع الله إلها آخر لا برهان له به فإنما حسابه عند ربه إنه لا يفلح الكافرون وقل رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. آخر الحشر سورة الحشر هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك قدوس. You say القدوس and then, oh please stop ملك القدوس السلام المؤمن أسماء الله وصفاته which are mentioned أسماء الله في at the end of سورة الحشر. سورة الصفات والجن all of it الصفات all of الصفات and الجن and 3 قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس المعوذات الثلاث. You recite this with a loud voice and you make sure that it's going to work.
Just last 2 or 4
Huh?
All the 4 fulls are just for Falaq and Nas.
3 قل هو الله أحد قل أعوذ برب الفلق قل أعوذ برب الناس. Now when you recite this, when you recite it, what is going to happen? The jinni will be affected. Some of the jinni are very difficult, so they would not speak. When you recite the Quran, they would not speak. Because when they speak, they know, you figure them out. But when they do not speak, then there are some symptoms in the face. You find the person not speaking, but his eyes are what? Do like this. Or blinking. اللي هو الرعش. أو his feet are shaking, or his body is shaking, or he's yelling loud. Then you're supposed to talk to the jinni and what is your name? What are you doing here? You're not supposed to do that. You need to leave that person. If you don't leave, I'm going to recite the Quran and bother you, and I'm just going to keep doing that. until the jinni, if the jinni is Muslim, you're supposed to do targhib and tarhib. This is injustice, haram, dhulm. That's your brother. Why would you harm your brother? There is a hereafter. Allah is going to punish you. You're actually supposed to do that with them. The stage number 3 is after this is done. Brothers and sisters in Islam, it doesn't make any sense that you get a jinni out of his body or her body, and yet they don't pray 5 times. And yet they don't keep up with the adhkar. And I want to tell you, shame on any imam who does this without getting those people to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You must put those people on a rehab schedule, pray 5 times a day. If you skip 1 time, that jinn is going to be back in your body. Again, 5 times a day, on time. And this is what you need to do. So, this is a very important thing. You know what? I introduced the whole subject, but you guys never told me what is the evidence that jinni can possess the human. I never shared this with you. We'll leave this till the next lecture, inshallah. جزاكم الله خيرا. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك والحمد لله رب العالمين. You see, we went through the lecture and nothing happened.
فاسألوا أهل الذكر إن كنتم لا تعلمون